Hi, it's Friday, June 26th, 2020. My name is Noah Seeley, and welcome to my channel. So it's Friday today, which means we usually review some news articles relating to machine learning, but I thought today we could cover some news on a different topic that I've been kind of interested in. It's still related to technology, but I wanted to look at some of the news relating to the company Adobe. I've noticed that its stock went up, and have also heard that they plan to stop support on Adobe Flash Player soon. All of this has sparked some of my curiosity, so I thought that I'd make a quick Friday video relating to it. So the articles I found are written by Anay, Gawande at seekingalpha.com and the Trefis team at forbes.com. It seems that together these two articles give us a pretty good idea on the current state of Adobe as a whole company. So without any further delay, let's jump into these articles. So the article that I want to go over is by Anay Gawande at seekingalpha.com. The article is called A Case for Adobe's Continued Outperformance. Now this article is pretty technical with some stock market terms that I don't know a lot about, so forgive me if I miss anything or get anything wrong. This article starts by stating how the author's updated theorized target value for the Adobe stock is $505 US. The author then goes on to say how he believes that Adobe has a lot of room for future growth as a company, and the reason why he's made this claim is that Adobe has grown significantly in the last 3 years. Thus, he thinks there's a lot more growth to come. The author writes that a reason for this is because as the world becomes more digitalized due to the COVID-19 pandemic, Adobe was able to fill in the needs of many companies and individuals. This is perhaps the reason Adobe was able to outperform its market predictions in recent assessments. The article then goes on to say that the bullish observers will predict many digitalization companies, like Adobe, will be able to exploit the opportunity of the need for a more digital world, as this quarantine state becomes a reality of our society for the next year or so. As companies become more remote, they're driving these digitalization companies to great success. The article concludes by summarizing these points, as well as commenting on Adobe's strong business plan, calling it shockproof. Whether Adobe is bullish or bearish, those seem to be measurements for pretty local time increments. If we look at the returns over 10 years or so, most stable tech companies, such as Adobe, always seem to grow by hundreds of percentages. To show off the advantages of long-term investments, the article ends with a quick thought exercise. In 10 years, Apple has had returns of 845%, Microsoft with 698%, Salesforce with 714%, and Adobe with a whopping 1,350%. 10 years ago, if you were to invest $10,000 in those companies, you would now be sitting with 130K, 98.5K, 81.4K, and 160,000 respectively. So the second article is by the Trefis team at Forbes.com and is called Has Adobe Stock Hit a Ceiling? This one's a bit less technical, and I think it provides a different opinion into the stock's recent success. The article actually contradicts the first article that we looked at, predicting that Adobe has met an all-time high in the market and doesn't have any more room to grow. They believe that Adobe will not be able to sustain themselves as they have spread themselves too thin through reinvesting their money. They believe this rise in growth will be short-lived, as it's just an over-optimism by buyers towards a tech stock during this pandemic. They believe that the current state of the company has become a very inflated figure. Apart from talking about the market, the article does agree with the first article as to one reason for this recent rise. The COVID-19 pandemic has forced many companies to switch to remote work, as many individuals are not able to leave home during the lockdown of larger cities. This ultimately led to a demand in Adobe's digital services, notably cloud and web-based services, as the rise can be seen to begin all the way back in January 2019, when the novel coronavirus popped up on the WHO's radar. This article ends with the prediction that although there is currently high demand for Adobe services, low consumer spending over the coming months could lead to a significant drop in this company's worth. This low consumer spending may be an after effect of COVID-19, as so many people were put out of work in mid-2020. Thus, they end by saying that we can expect this company's stock to drop quite a bit as we begin to face a life and an economy that feels the after effect of this global quarantine. So yeah, those were the articles that I wanted to share today. Happy Friday, guys. I hope you've learned something from today's news video, and tomorrow we'll be back to normal content. We've looked at some pretty cool stuff today, so as always, I've linked all resources in the description below for you guys to go check out yourself. If you feel that I missed anything or got anything wrong, please let me know in the comment section below. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. See you tomorrow.